Good morning, all. My name is Haley Comet, and welcome to just another Magic Monday. Your cosmic insights for the week of November 1st to November 6th, 2021, and breaking down the astrology that it carries and the potency that it carries as we have a packed celestial week. We have Mercury finally leaving its shadow, giving us the green light when it comes to our mental and intellectual pursuits. Yet Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and pleasure, entering Capricorn, which is the sign that it will eventually station retrograde later in December through January. We just cannot catch a break. We've also got an electrifyingly potent Scorpio new moon, as well as Sun opposite Uranus, which is shaking up and giving us a call to dig deep into the inner reservoirs of strength within us. It's Scorpio season. What did you expect? Before I dive into the overall theme as well as the day-by-day breakdown, good morning, everybody. Hi. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like if anything that I say resonates with you, if you feel more empowered moving through your week, I would so appreciate that. Any little nudge that you feel comfortable with is celebrated by me, so thank you so much. And without further ado, let's dive into the vibe check of the week. So did anyone out there play sports in high school or growing up? So I myself played competitive soccer, and this week feels like the final day of a tournament, right? That, you know, after these tournaments, you're exhausted. I would fall a lot, so I'd have all these bruises and just be so tired, but it's the final game, right? And so you've got to dig deep. I mean, it is Scorpio season, and we often hear Scorpio associated with death, and that can feel really scary. And it's not that you're going to die, it's that parts of you will. That to live is to die. To live is to let parts of your life decay and to let parts of your life let go. And we can cling on to this illusion of control, but with Scorpio season, it's really asking for our rebirth, to go through the fire and to realize that we're stronger on the other side. So in the vibe check, there's this energy about being able to access this deep store of courage and strength within you, even when things are challenging, even when you feel exhausted, whether it's physically, even when unexpected events happen at the soccer game. Let's say, you know, the goalie gets injured and someone else gets thrown in, or something unexpected happens at the game and you're just reeling, but you've got to keep your cool. You've got to keep on going. You've got to keep your game face on so that you can get through to the other side and perhaps win, right? So this week it has some shocking energy. We've got a shocking new moon, and yes, I will keep using the word shocking because that's what we use when Uranus is involved. And it's really asking us to dig deep into our intentions, deep into our strength, deep into our resilience, and bouncing back from the inevitable shakeups. And some of these shakeups this week could be as minor as your computer is fried and you're like, what the heck? Or as major as someone in your life is behaving really erratically and suddenly is wanting more space from you, or something of the nature, or your boss is behaving strangely, or there's some sort of shakeup going on. And this is the sort of week where, of course, you know, we can feel it, we can process it, but it's sort of the week that we just have to put on our game face and just keep marching towards the finish line, whether that is winning the soccer match, whether that is finishing your project at work, whether that is maintaining your relationship. This is the sort of week that has some unstable energy, but it also is this really deep call for us to tap into the strength that is within us. Like, that's what Scorpio season is all about, diving deep and realizing how much depth is within us, how much strength is within us. This was why Scorpio is referred to as the strongest sign, because it's earned strength. Earn strength from being able to go through the fire and come out the other side stronger, more resilient, more powerful. So let's break it down day by day about how you can synchronize with these energies. And yes, I'm wearing head to toe all black Scorpio season style. What did you expect? And let's start with Monday, November 1st. So on Sunday the 31st, we had Mercury trine Jupiter. This has happened before. It happened throughout Mercury retrograde, and it's sort of a good news sort of transit. It's sort of a future focused transit, future forward transit. It kind of made a nice cap for the end of our weekend of just being able to be in a more optimistic state. Maybe we had a really great weekend. We had equal balance for fun and for working out and for socializing and just entering the week in sort of a revitalized state. On November 1st, the moon will be in Virgo all day, and since Virgo does answer that Mercury trine Jupiter, we might feel a little bit more positive, a little bit more future focused, just a little bit more powerful as that Virgo moon does trine Pluto in Capricorn. Like, this is really a week where we are going deep, okay? We are going deep. Like, if you've ever been exhausted at the end of a soccer match or basketball game or gymnastics match or whatever, frame of reference that you have to grab onto, when you are exhausted, when you have nothing left, and you just have to keep on going and you're like, wow, I did not realize that strength within me. Or if you're going through something really challenging and you have to keep going, you have to show up for work, you have to show up for your kids. This is that sort of week. And of course, it's not all going to be that dramatic and that intense necessarily, but it's a sort of week that really makes you dive into the depths of what is within you. And on Monday with the Virgo moon trining Pluto in Capricorn, it's really a time of diving into the depths of what it is that you want to work on, diving into the depths of your willpower, of your focus, of, holding your ground, standing your ground when it comes to situations that you would typically, cower down to. We're really getting clear on that this week with Mercury squaring Pluto for the final time the following day. But on Monday, there is this energy about diving into our inner reserves of power and showing up in a very effective way for a Virgo moon Monday. So we've got a productive Virgo moon morning. I would try to get up and get going because the moon is void at 10 a.m. with a square to Venus in Sagittarius. So it might be sort of challenging to focus. The Virgo moon opposed Neptune in Pisces the night prior, and the ruler Mercury just trine Jupiter. And this sort of energy where it's very daydreaming, dreaming about the future, dreaming about what's possible. There is this energy about cementing into our power. So maybe it's daydreaming. Maybe I can show up as the CEO of my company, even though I'm scared to do so. Maybe I can stand up to my boss, and sort of in a little bit of a daydreamy state with the square to Venus in Sagittarius might be a little bit challenging to concentrate. And the moon enters Libra at 4:11 p.m., at which point we have the green light to keep working on all of our work projects and tasks. On Tuesday, Mercury in Libra will square Pluto in Capricorn. So there was like this reminder of the power that was within us on Monday, like that inner reservoir of power that only comes out like strength. You only realize you're strong when you have to flex that particular muscle. Like, you don't know your strength until you go through the fire and come out the other side, right? That's what Scorpio season is all about. And with Mercury square Pluto, it feels like this energy around a testing. So I want you to think back to what your Mercury retrograde story was. This is why I love journaling, because you could just like flip back and kind of see. But with Mercury and Libra, partnerships and relationships and the equanimity within them was very much something that was being highlighted. With the square to Pluto in Capricorn, it was sort of speaking to the underlying psychological dynamics that filter through our relationships, as well as acting out because of them. And with Mercury retrograde, there was sort of this opportunity to revise partnerships to make them more harmonious. This is the final time Mercury will square Pluto, which it did through the retrograde, so it was a central part of it. So there might be this energy where you have a choice. It's like, okay, are you going to sink back to the dynamic that you are comfortable with? Like always cowering down when your boss gives you that assignment, or always doing what your partner wants to when they bring it up? Or are you going to choose a different path? Like, have you been doing the work this Mercury retrograde? And to liken it to our soccer game analogy, this is a sort of energy where it's like your coach, says something to you and you kind of get deep in your feels, but you need to focus on the game. It's like, okay, are you going to let his or her words soak into your being and get you off your game, or are you going to choose a different vibration? So on Tuesday, keep your vibration high. Try not to sink into this lower level, like maybe it's on social media. Are you going to, get really jealous looking at this person's feed, envying their career? Or are you going to choose to redirect your energy? Like with Mercury square Pluto, we're being asked to empower ourselves this week. Dig deep and say, no, I'm not going to do that. That's probably more comfortable, but I'm not going to do that. No, this conversation might be uncomfortable, but I'm going to have it. It's like the energy that highlights that we are empowered beings. We can choose a different response at any time. Other than that, the Libra moon will trine Saturn in Aquarius, so it is a sort of hardworking day, productive. We might find that we are more exhausted as we do have a Scorpio new moon. We're in the waning crescent moon, the balsamic moon phase, which is typically a time to sort of come inward, to reflect, to journal. You might find you feel very exhausted. You might find that you're really contemplating these deeper things within life. I would recommend chatting about it to a friend. There could be some triggering nature of what's sort of coming up, as Libra moon will oppose Chiron and Aries, but there's a stabilizing force with the Libra moon trining Saturn and Aquarius. So spend time with friends, chat with a friend, have something to remind you that you're not alone, but also follow that cue if you are craving solitude. It is Scorpio season after all, okay? So Wednesday is when I would have those conversations, if there is a conversation that you need to have, right? If Mercury retrograde really showed what in your life wasn't fair, and that Mercury square Pluto, maybe you chose a different response than what you typically do, Wednesday is the energy to stand in your power and be like, hey, we're going to handle this in a different way. I'm going to be forthright. I'm going to be direct. I'm going to make my needs known so that we can sort of shift this dynamic to make it feel more balanced for all of us. And I say this because the Libra moon will square off with Pluto in Capricorn, but it meets up with Mercury in Libra. And finally on the 3rd, Mercury will clear the shadow. So we're entering new territory now. So it's like being able to move forward in a more productive way, particularly when it comes to our relationships, as the Libra moon will also trine Jupiter in Aquarius. The Libra moon will sextile Venus in Sagittarius at 3:32. So great time to take off from work early and go get into an adventure, go have some fun. What these two signs have in common is they both know how to live. They both love something a little bougie, something a little fun. So if possible, take off work early on Wednesday, or just give yourself a treat when you get home, or like a workout class, or just something fun and new to integrate into your schedule. The moon enters Scorpio at 5:52 p.m., at which point it will eventually conjoin Mars in Scorpio. So great energy for a really challenging workout or something that allows you to speak about the intense emotions that have been circulating. Like if you're feeling a lot this week, you are in tune with the cosmos, because essentially what this new moon is doing is it's digging up all of this stuff so you can sort of set in a new foundation on Thursday. So it's almost like the energy of having to dig deep, whether it's because of challenging circumstances or because it's in the final quarter of a game, having to dig deep in order to keep your eyes on the prize, in order to keep on going. On Thursday the 4th, the Scorpio new moon will exact at 2:15 p.m. And it's not the most fertile, joyous new moon. It's the sort of strength that is unearthed when you're under challenging circumstances, as this new moon squares Saturn in Aquarius and opposes Uranus in Taurus. Sun will also oppose Uranus in Taurus as well on Thursday. It's an energy where the goalie is injured, your coach said something sassy to you, your ex's new girlfriend is on the other team, and you've got to dig deep in order to see this through. This is sort of a shocking energy on Thursday, and there could be a surprise within your interpersonal life or within work. This isn't the new moon that I would say, you know, do your whole new moon ritual, because with Uranus, it's like expect the unexpected. So it might be the sort of thing that triggers sort of an epiphany of like, I can do this, I am strong, even though I'm having such a bad day, my car was towed, my boss is yelling at me, being able to dig deep and still show up with your best foot forward at that meeting, like still be able to push through to the finish line. And at the end of it, the gift of it is that you realize, wow, I am such a strong, capable person. I was able to mitigate all of those challenges, that's Saturn, all of those unexpected shocks, that's Uranus, and still see it through. So yes, new moons are new starts essentially, but this isn't the new moon that I would be like, do your new moon ritual, just because these are two challenging planets to work with. So what it does feel like though is a fresh start in order to reclaim your strength, to be able to remember who you are and step into that power. Even if the world around you feels shaky, be like, if I've got me, then that's all that matters, and I can see myself through to the other side. I can dig deep and find that strength within me to keep going. On Friday the 5th, we have two planets changing signs. Mercury enters the deep investigative energy of Scorpio, and Venus enters Capricorn, which is raising our standards. And it went from just here for a good time with Venus in Sagittarius to I want to make this last for a long time of Venus in Capricorn. This is an energy where our standards are higher. We're looking at our relationships and we're like, am I getting an ROI when I spend time with you? Like, what's my return on investment, right? Like seeing our energy as truly currency. I mean, it is. And wanting to protect our energy and get it away from anything that's not feeling worthy to it. Like with Venus in Sagittarius, we're more likely to be a little bit more adventurous, free spirit. With Venus in Capricorn, we're being a little bit more stingy with our energy. We don't want to just go on any old adventure or date any old person. We're like, no, meet me up here. And we will be having a retrograde within this sign. So look out for the video that will be coming soon about that and what could be expected. And then with Mercury in Scorpio, we're going from the energy of wanting everyone to get along and everything to be balanced, to Mercury and Scorpio is like, I want to dig deep. Whether it's like dig deep into this conversation, dig deep from researching, but the surface level is not interesting me. I've got to go deep. So Capricorn and Scorpio, they're both very concerned with power, remembering our own power. With Venus and Capricorn, remembering the value that we bring to every situation, that we don't necessarily want to share our energy with everyone. With Mercury and Scorpio, remembering our power of diving deep to understand the mechanics of a situation. Like, these are some deep energies. And the moon will essentially be void all day on Friday. It is void in Scorpio at 9:16, and it will not enter Sagittarius until 5:53 that afternoon. Closing aspect is the Scorpio moon sextiling Pluto in Capricorn, which is, again, you guys are probably so sick of me saying this word, but again, powerful. Remembering who we are, even in those situations where things are stressful, remembering it even more so. Like, there might be certain elements of your life that are shaky, that are changing, that are unstable, but focus on what is stable, what is holding you through. Maybe it's your loved ones that are holding you down. Maybe it's your own strength, your own habits, your own routines that are holding you down. So try not to be so fixated on everything that is shifting and evolving that you forget the elements of your life that are stable. So with Scorpio moon sextile Pluto and Capricorn, Friday is really a day to chug through your work tasks, even if some surprises sort of came up. And the moon will enter Sagittarius that afternoon, which makes for a fun Friday night. And the moon will pass the south node when it is in Sagittarius, so there might be certain emotions that are coming up for you to just shed, for you just let go. It's whatever comes up this week, just see it as an opportunity to let it go, anchor into what matters, let go of what doesn't. Saturday the 6th honestly looks lovely. The Sagittarius moon will sextile Saturn in Aquarius. Sagittarius moon will trine Chiron in Aries. The Mercury newly in Scorpio will sextile Venus newly in Capricorn, which is around wanting to focus on the relationships that we feel have depth. It is a very social energy, but both of these aren't really looking for things that are surface level or things that are waste of time. They're looking for really soulful, deep conversations that really add to your life, like not just talking just to fill space. So this is a great time to spend time with the contacts who make you feel that way. Like, there's a really deeper, soulful connection going on. Sunday the 7th. Don't forget to adjust your clocks, as it is daylight savings time. We will enter Capricorn at 5:53 a.m. So drawing our awareness to our long-term goals, our ambitions. So Sunday is a great time to work on your side hustle or anything that you want to perfect or dial in. You know, Capricorn, we so often relate it with capitalism, but it's the desire to want to ascend to your ability despite the industry, ascend to your ability in art, ascend to your ability as a wife, as a partner, ascend to your ability perhaps at work, perhaps in your craft, but there is a desire to want to get better. And this is my pick for date night, honestly, because it will meet up with Venus this night and sextile Mercury in Scorpio. So great, deep conversations and enjoyment of life. Again, high standards. So make sure if you go on a date, maybe spend a little extra to go to the nicer restaurant, to really invest in the experience and to have those deeper conversations. This week's Magic Monday mantra of the week is, though the ground shakes beneath me, my foundation is strong. And I used to be a yoga instructor, and one time there was an earthquake that happened in class and we were all in tree pose and I didn't know what to say, and that's what I said. And none of us fell from tree pose, even though there was an earthquake. And it really just went to show that the world can be shaking around you. Uranus can be throwing all sorts of unexpected surprises at you. But if you just dial into your foundation, notice what's stable, attune to your breath, attune to your strength, you'll be able to keep your balance throughout it all. Friends, my Instagram handle is @HaleyCommonAstrology. My TikTok is the same. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay magical.